Tired of walking and need to rest by a cozy fire and can't find your matches? Don't despair. Using a battery can quickly start a fire. Believe it or not, even a phone battery or a small AAA battery can be used to start a fire. The only type of battery that won't work is a watch battery, as it doesn't provide enough power. The battery fire method works by intentionally creating a short circuit. A short circuit occurs when electricity takes an unintended low-resistance path, causing a massive current surge that generates enough heat to ignite kindling. One major advantage of using batteries as fire starters is that most hikers carry them. This method is also quicker and easier to master, unlike other fire-starting techniques. However, be cautious. This method can ignite a fire almost too quickly, making it difficult to control the heat. To protect your hands from burns, wearing gloves is highly recommended. The first method for starting a fire involves using a 9-volt battery and steel wool. Place a small bundle of steel wool on the battery, ensuring both terminals are covered to create a short circuit. This causes the steel wool to glow red hot. The steel wool quickly produces enough heat to start a fire. This method has drawbacks. The steel wool can spark and become extremely hot, making it difficult and unsafe to handle. Hot steel wool poses a risk to the hiker, as flying sparks could cause burns or ignite the surrounding countryside, causing a much bigger fire than intended. Fortunately, most hikers do not carry steel wool, so odds are this method will never be used in the bush. Because of the inherent dangers, I do not recommend using steel wool for fire starting. The next method for starting a fire with a battery is somewhat safer. It involves using a AAA, AA, or D battery along with copper wire. First, strip the insulation from both ends in a short section in the middle of the wire. Then, bend the wire into a horseshoe shape, keeping the bare wire at the top. Next, put on gloves and hold the wire ends on the terminals with your fingers. It's important to maintain good contact between the terminals to keep the electricity flowing and complete the circuit. If you prefer not to use your fingers, you can instead tape the bare wire to the terminals to keep them in place. The bare wire in the center of the loop will heat up quickly enough to ignite tinder. Be careful and do not burn yourself. The last battery method uses aluminum foil. This method is more practical for a lost hiker, as most hikers do not carry wire or steel wool, but many do carry aluminum foil for cooking. Use your knife or scissors to cut the aluminum foil as thin as possible. Note, when backpacking, I always carry small scissors, as I find them far more useful than a knife in many situations. The aluminum foil strip must be long enough to make contact with both battery terminals. Cut the foil into an hourglass shape. The foil's width should be no more than 3/16 inches. Next, connect one end of the foil to the positive terminal and the other end to the negative terminal. Voila, this should produce enough heat to start a fire. Having effective fire-making skills can truly make a difference in emergencies. I've found that the battery fire method is incredibly practical and reliable compared to other techniques I've encountered. Given how quickly these batteries can heat up, I'm concerned about carrying loose lithium batteries in my pocket. If a battery comes into contact with any conductive material, it could rapidly heat up and potentially start a fire. This scenario would be very dangerous. Has anyone heard of a case where this has happened? Thank you for tuning in. I'd love for you to subscribe. Until next time, adieu